Hi, friends. I'm here with Chett Heitman, owner of Heitman Insurance Advisors. Hi, Chett. How are you today?
Great. How are you doing today, Jennifer?
I'm good. Good to see you. Wanted to get to know you a little better. I'm going to ask you a few questions so our
All right,
audience
perfect.
can like you as much as I do. How long have you been in the industry, in the insurance industry?
Jennifer, roughly about 8 months. So I'm fairly new to the health insurance industry.
Well, that's amazing. What did you do before and what made you change?
Yeah, great question. I love that question because I have this kind of circular experience and background. For 20 years, I was GM of an antiques business here in Houston. And as most people know, when you run a small business, you wear lots of hats. And one of mine was HR, benefits coordinator. So I had to handle the health insurance for our employees. Like a lot of people, I think can relate to when you have about 10 to 12 employees. You want to take care of them. And quite frankly, it was fairly easy until ACA hit, and then everything changed for small businesses in that realm, and it became quite difficult. And over time, I had to figure out there's got to be a better way to do this and a better way to serve my employees. And so the pandemic actually shut down that business, and that's what led me to what I'm doing now. But it's been a great change, and it's been challenging. But I do feel like it's kind of this reverse thing that's happened in my life, where I actually do feel like I get to help people in this field.
That's a great feeling, isn't it?
It is. It is. Anytime you feel like you can help people, it's fantastic.
And I know it sounds corny, but it really does make a huge difference. So that's wonderful. So let me ask you this: what separates your company from the competition? Because there are a lot of insurance options out there. So what makes you better?
I think a couple of things. One, the fact that I do have this experience of being on the other side of this conversation. I did that for a long time, and so had to do a lot of research, a lot of study, trying to figure out the ins and outs before I even got into this business. But now that I'm doing this, my focus is trying to tailor insurance to the individual, versus with a small business, typically you do a group package, and the way they approach it is, okay, you've got your older employees, your younger employees, and you kind of pick something that's in the middle. It doesn't really best serve anybody except for the few people that are kind of in the middle. And so what I do is I come in and tailor it to each individual person. They literally own the insurance. So if they do leave for whatever reason, it's theirs. There is no COBRA, there's no additional fee, there is no time frame. These plans are what they call guaranteed renewable, so they can stay on it until they turn 65 and are eligible for then Medicare. So it's a completely different way of approaching and solving an issue that's been around for a long time.
That's fascinating. I didn't know you could own it and take it with you. That's what keeps people in jobs, is insurance.
Exactly. And you're not locked into any long-term contract either. So let's say you left a job and now your new job does provide benefits. You can jump into a group package if you want to. You can quit. You can drop mine at any time. But what's happening is some people are leaving, going to a new company, and then actually asking, they want to keep that insurance. And so then they're asking their new employer to help subsidize, doing the same thing they would do for everybody else, but just do it at an individual level for them, which works. It's great.
That's wonderful. I had no idea. Excellent. Good to know. I'm glad we're chatting.
That's right.
Do you have a favorite customer story to tell? I know you're 8 months in, so I bet you have some good ones.
Well, actually, I have a small company that I work with, that I'm helping up in Kansas, and so it's interesting because they have one regional hospital, they have one eye clinic. They have to drive almost an hour to get to a city where you can get to basically options, if you will. And so it was a real challenge trying to make sure everything was in network and trying to get the type of coverage that they needed. And thankfully, the general manager I worked with up there, she was very easygoing, really cared about our employees. And so we worked as a team to make this happen. And so I love that aspect of working with somebody and trying to, problem solve. Basically, I guess what I'm saying is trying to find all these little pieces, put it all together like a puzzle, and make it all work for them, and provide a solution that was, 1,000 times better than what they had before. What they could afford before was an EPO type plan, which I know doesn't make people outside the industry don't really understand, but I took them from an EPO to a PPO plan.
Oh, we know what that is.
Yeah, we know what that is. So that was a huge difference for them, and so they're in a much better position than they were before.
Well, look at the difference you made, and you made a difference for them and their family. That is wonderful. So who can we get you in front of? Who do you want to meet?
So typically I work with small businesses. My sweet spot is really probably about 20, 25 employees and less.
Okay.
So I'm talking to small business owners, anybody who is like a 1099 type of employee, independent contractor. I'm working with like dentists, chiropractors, traveling nurses, real estate agents. All of those industries kind of fall into that pot, if you will. And then I team up with a lot of P&C agents, life insurance, because I don't do life insurance. I strictly focus on health insurance. So those are good referral partners for me as well.
Oh, excellent. So you do individual. So individual to 25. That's your
correct.
Your demo.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, Jennifer, that's my demographic.
Excellent. A lot of 1099s out there.
Yes, and it's growing. It's growing as more and more companies are outsourcing their employees. So it's a big field.
That's really good to know. So, and we float in that space. So good to know that you can help them. So, All right. What's my last question? What's the best way to reach you?
Best way to reach me, you can go to my website, which is just my company name, HeitmanInsuranceAdvisors.com. All my info is on there. When I work with somebody or they hire me, basically, I become their personal agent. So everybody gets my cell phone, which is 281-773-3332. So I put that out there everywhere, as well as my personal email, which is my name, ChettHeitman@gmail.com. And nothing to hide. So all my personal information is out there, because quite frankly, I'm motivated to help people the best way I can, because I'm hoping that they're going to be a client of mine until they hit 65. So that could be anywhere from a few years to 30 or 40 years.
Oh, very good. Thank you so much for joining me today in our first show.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Jennifer. Yeah, that went well. Yeah.
Well,
that was easy.
What?
I said that was easy.
Oh, good. Well, thank you for joining us. I think we need a name for this show.
I think that's a great idea.
Something to think about. Well, anyway, thank you so much. And please reach out to Chett. He's a fabulous person. And I'm not just saying that because we're sharing a Zoom screen together. To reach out. So thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer. Appreciate it.